Hello, Reconnaissance, and welcome back to Combat Mission Cold War. It's been a few months since we dived into this one, so pretty keen to get back at it. I'm pretty excited to get involved again. And so today, we're going to be playing as the Soviets. We're going to be taking on the Skirmish at Sichenhausen, and we're going to be seeing if we can't give Americans some licking. So, what's the briefing? Well, the Soviet 8th Guards Army has been pushing down its main objective through Germany, has been batting its head against the 5th, 4th, 11th Cavalry of the Americans. We of the 39th Recon Battalion have been supporting the flanking effort of that main push, and we have approached the village of Sichenhausen. It's about 11 in the morning. So we've got a full day of combat ahead of us. Okay, what's the objective for the mission? Well, we've been tasked with securing the bridge over the river here. It's pretty kind of non-event of a river, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, we have been tasked with securing the bridge at the edge of the village, and that's exactly what we'll do. In terms of game points, we get 50 points for retaining the bridge, and a further 25 on offer for retaining combat strength above 50%. No bonus points for destroying the Americans. That's purely for fun. Okay, so what force have we got? So as I said, we are the 39th Recon Battalion. We have 3 companies of Recon Troops. So we've got this 3 platoons of Recon Troops. So we have the first platoon here. Also, each squad's pretty small, just a couple of guys, and these are rocking BRDMs. And then we have 2 further platoons from, I believe it's 1st Company, slightly bigger squad sizes in that there's 3 of them. I suppose that's 50% bigger than the other one, and they're rocking BMPs rather than BRDMs, so a little bit more firepower there. In addition, we do also have 1 tank platoon of T-64s. Few extra supporting elements, so we've got a couple of anti-air units mixed in with our recon platoon, and we've got a couple of forward observers, both right in the town and one up on this hill. And they have a mortar battery at their beck and call. Excuse me, sorry. In terms of additional units coming in, we get an ATGM platoon in about 10 minutes, and then a motor rifle platoon, I think it's about 20 minutes. Actually, just check that. No, they're coming in 10 minutes as well. Okay, so we've got 1 ATGM platoon and 1 BMP platoon. Excellent. We know there is Americans approaching our position. We've been advised there is an armoured column of just under a company's strength approaching the town, and they're 5 minutes out. So we need to set ourselves up to welcome them. So obviously this terrain is dominated by this hill on the left-hand side here, and that's something I think we're going to make good use of. So we know they're coming in along this road. It's my opening gambit, not particularly complicated. I'm going to grab our tank platoon supporting here, and we're going to grab our BMPs, and we're going to push forward and take a position up along the ridgeline of this hill, and hopefully be in a kind of overwatch position for when the Americans appear. It's worth noting a couple of differences there. Obviously, with the BRDMs kind of in this forward location, they've only got machine guns, essentially. Okay, one reasonably chunky one, 14.5mm, but still they've got no inherent anti-tank capabilities. They could punch their way through an M113 because that's, glorified paper. But anything heavier, they're not going to get the job done. So we do have to be kind of careful with them in and around the town. Similarly, the troops themselves, they've got these RPG-18, so a single-use anti-tank vehicle, fairly short range. Can definitely knock out a tank, but one shot, so limited supply. I did notice, which is a quirk, vaguely interesting, but within the BRDMs, they actually carry 3 of these PG-7 VL heat rockets. That's ammo for an RPG-7. None of my troops have an RPG-7, but we've got the ammo, so that's always good to know. With the remainder of the Recon Troops, my plan was, well, look, let's get down into the town, try and give ourselves a little bit of an entrenched position, so if they push their armour too close, we can maybe pick them off at short range with our single-use weapons, and maybe lay some ambushes for some infantry coming in. We should have 5 minutes before the Americans turn up, so that's more than enough time to get our troops down and get ensconced in the town. So we're going to grab not the full 1st platoon, because we're going to leave some guys up on a hill, and we're going to reinforce them with the other 1st platoon from 1st Company here. I'm going to leave the Company HQ just where they are in the hill in here. It's not the greatest position, to be honest, because of this kind of ridgeline, little trees. You can't quite see down into that corner where we think the Americans are coming from. But there's some good eyes up onto this hill, and you know, I'd never inherently trust the briefings, or never entirely trust briefings, I should say. So I want to keep an eye on anything that may appear up here. So that's some good scouting. And then in terms of scouting over here, we've already got a couple of forward elements, so I am going to shuffle them around just into slightly better positions. And there's phenomenal views down onto this roadway here. So good eyes. Hopefully backed up by armour and a few BMPs, predominantly for their ATGM capability. And we can give a nice welcoming party. Speaking of which, as I said, we had those 120mm mortars. I have given one order command in here on a 5-minute delay, because that's how long we think the Americans are going to be, just to kind of disrupt their approaches and hopefully muck up their sight lines. And I'm not expecting this to do significant amounts of damage to them. But you know, maybe a few casualties, and more just for disruption, hopefully enable us to then have freer reign with our flanking troops up on the hill here, while they're kind of dealing with the incoming fire. Within the town itself, I don't have a huge number of units. We do have this 1st team in a forward position. They've got a kind of restricted fire arc just so they're doing a bit more scouting for us. I've pulled F-Bow back slightly so he hopefully doesn't get annihilated straight away. With these BRDMs, I've kind of given them in a little bit of hidey hole positions. Really what we're going to do is, if we get the chance to engage an M113, assuming that's what they're going to have, then we shall do so, but if there's tanks rolling about, we just need to hide them. And yeah, that's about it. So we don't know what kind of forward elements the US has on the map. It's the armor column's 5 minutes away, but they may well have, I don't know, some kind of scouts. I'm hoping they don't have, you know, a forward element ATGMT, because that could cause us some havoc as we race forward with our BRDMs and our BMPs. But we'll have to see. So there's an element of kind of trusting the briefing slightly here, and our tactics is based on that. So we want to get defense built up in town with whatever we can, flanking from the hill, and really we want to kind of try to pin them down in this area. And just wreck them, really. No doubt it's going to go horribly wrong, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, and then maybe without further ado, what I will do and what you should do is I'll cut away here, I'll hit the big old rig button, and then if and when we start getting some contacts, I'll bring you guys back. So I think I was saying something about not inherently trusting the briefings. And that's proven to be right. So we're 3 seconds into this engagement, and the American armoured column is here. So I'm going to find that private that told me it was going to be 5 minutes to get here and give him a good flogging. So what we're dealing with, as suspected, we've got our M113. It's probably packed with, well, it's a headquarters unit. I always think it's funny how if you spot the vehicle, you get the information of who's inside it as well. But there we go. Yeah, jolly good. And then we have M60A3. Yeah, so the I think all the A1s have got the IR box on the turret, and then obviously the A2s have got the different barrels. So I believe that's an A3, which we have had some serious trouble with before. So there's no way to tell if it's the standard A3 or if it's the thermal sight upgrade. Either way, very capable. Slightly problematic. We're going to have to see what we're going to do about that. We don't want to get ourselves in a fair fight with those, because their spotting their vision has caused us serious problems before, where they plink away at our Soviet tanks from a distance and we don't even see them. That was, of course, the thermal sight variant, but we don't know if they have that or not. Okay, let's go on. I'm slightly nervous now about all my mechanized troops racing forward. We may find ourselves the unwanted focus of American attention. Also, my 5-minute mortar delay is now looking somewhat unuseful. Oh, they've got a tow as well. That's never fun. I will have to decide actually if we want to change what we're doing with these forces. Shots out. Oh, our FO's getting picked off by the tanks there. As is our forwards. That's pretty good spotting to kind of find two guys hiding in the woods. Right. Okay, so we've got... It looks to be like one platoon worth, whatever they're called, of tanks. There was probably, what, 4 of them? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. And then maybe 2 for the infantry. You get kind of 1, 2, 3. So 6 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 2 tool units. Okay. Interesting. So now the question is, what are we going to do about it? Can I adjust this to do now? Probably not. It's 4 minutes delivery. Nah, it's probably going to be useless. I'll leave it where it is for now. We might end up having to cancel it. This chap is in a bad way. Because that tank's about to roll into your little keyhole position and turn you into mincemeat. But if they are pushing M113s up this direction, may give us an opportunity to do a little bit of damage with this guy. And we just want to protect ourselves from tanks. Yeah, we'll do that. And similar armor, let's pull you back. Now we may, I'm just trying to judge this, where's the other tank back there? Yeah, we may actually be in a position where again, as they rear their head, we kind of can inflict some casualties. Let's not give up the ghost entirely. Position ourselves over here. We shall see, we'll have to adapt. The real question is what we're going to do with all these guys. And are you going to get down here in time to be hidden from that tank? I think you might. Famous last words. How is this? I mean, the trees might hide us a little bit, and then once we're down here, we're effectively safe. So I'm tempted to let them go for it. Well, these guys are a bit far away. And very grouped up. Makes me slightly uncomfortable. The other option we have is we just hold them where they are and try and get some of the ATGMs like on this position to engage the tanks as they come across this hill. Which is maybe what we'll have a go of. Yeah, let's do that with at least one of you. Let's get you to this position, and then we want to kind of hunt you forward? Sure. Come to about here. It's a bit exposed is my immediate concern. Okay, but let's do it. And then you jump out when you get there, please. And then maybe we'll push the rest. We'll have one come up, hopefully kind of offer a bit of cover. Maybe have a pop at a tank. And the rest don't. Right, you guys are all still getting into position. Fine. You're just a BRM, you're just bringing my company headquarters over here. Okay. Probably another minute before you guys up here, and then we'll look at final positions. But now we are driving into their kind of Overwatch position. But there you go. Wow, this was a much more of a frantic start. Right, let's go another minute. You're a lot slower than I thought you were going to be. There you go. I just saw a shot there. Not sure who he's shooting at. Oh, it looks like he may have identified the infantry in town. Which is always a risk. They were always a very forward point of our efforts. You need to get in this valley ASAP. This lackadaisical pace you've got going on is not going to be good for your survival. Kind of expecting him to explode any minute now. Looks like we've got away with it. Okay. Wow. Oh! Oh, hello! Okay, this pleases me greatly, but this has kind of worked exactly how we planned it. So rarely that happens. I'm also pleased that you, I think, are going to be in position to give this guy potentially a bad day. Actually, maybe going to get you to wiggle slightly. Okay, let's go command phase. So I'm going to get you to pull back here and then just come out. Right, that's more than I need you to do. Because we could just get you to come back here and then forward there. Just so it opens up a little more of an angle while keeping you hidden from Tank Boy. And hopefully we can wreck these guys. And you are just patiently waiting for them to come out of the forest. Okay. But I'm really happy we've got the ATGM away. Whether it hits or not, that's the next question. Then we have to decide what we're going to do with our tanks. Well, I think what we... I mean, I'm slightly worried about these tow vehicles. Will obviously give us a pretty bad day. But I am tempted to just kind of try and swing the tanks round, engage, and then run away. It's kind of a plan. So where's the rest of my tanks? Okay. Well, look, let's get into position so we can kind of pop up and engage next time. So we'll do that. I want you to kind of come around to there. I know that right turn's pretty horrendous for time. Tell you what, I'll go and I'll put these in off camera. Alright, so I'm going to get the tanks congregated here, so then you can poke over the ridge and hopefully try and engage and then run away. I'm going to get my BPMs, my BMPs congregated in this little wheat field. It's not a field. Anyway, this little area here. Dislodge all their troops, and then we might come and try and approach some of these tree lines. Potentially, actually over here might be useful again, just to get some eyes, some ATGM, and even just some heavy fire on the infantry elements. Hopefully, hidden a little bit by the toes. But I think the most important thing is going to be seeing where this guy ends up, and that's where we'll start. I think. See if we can get first blood. Whoa. Yes. Oh. That was insanely tense timing. So having launched the missile, unfortunately makes himself pretty visible. So the shot from the forward M1A3, yeah, M60A3 even, and just after we hit them, we get nailed ourselves. But this should be one dead tank. It's actually quite a good shot through the trees. Often the missiles will hit the tree themselves. Good. Oh, not sure they've given up the ghost. Any luck, we've wrecked the main gun. Oh, hang on. Is that our BRDM getting involved? No, it's our rifleman. Hopefully you'll get involved though. I mean, they're right here. Could be hell line problems. Yeah, they could just be on the lee of the hill here where we're discharging all their units, which makes sense. And it looks like our forces essentially have made it into town, no problems, which is good news for us. Okay. If we spin round here... Yeah. I mean, that's okay, because as soon as these guys come over the hill, bad news bears for them. Let's go command phase. So, those tanks have moved off, so the question is, do I want to come forward and try and mess with a tow vehicle with tanks? Potentially not. Be better bringing them round, having done that, actually round something like this position. Just start popping away at these things. Which is frustrating having gathered them over here. But I think that would be better. So let's bring our tanks over this position and then we'll creep up on that hill. And again, yeah, we'll come over here and then we'll come out, congregate them. You guys are still dismounting. Are you dismounting? Please get out. We can support that. I would like eyes on what happens to that tow. You should be able to see down here. Yeah, you can. Okay. Maybe actually, I'd like to drop some mortar on there. Can you see down into there? I know where mortars are busy at the minute. Yeah, alright, we'll hit that with mortars next. Right, these guys are just about getting into position. These guys are in position, beautiful. Right. Let's get our way through town. Maybe we can set ourselves up somewhere back here a little bit. Okay, we'll come here, we'll kick out the guys. Get yourselves into that building, and then we can always support with the BMP through this gap if they haven't brought their tanks up. I think we will get this unit to support in a very, very similar fashion. Let's bring you into there, and these guys can... I would like another unit forward in here though, just to try and, you know, if they swing in with tanks, just as a bit of a tripwire basically. So why don't we do that with you? So you guys are going to come over here. Up this way. Yeah, into... I think this is all going to be protected. Into, like, this position. Then we'll get the guys maybe into this building. And they're there, hopefully. Just if they start pushing with their tanks through town. I mean, it's a silly thing to do, but you never know. Right, HQ is just about there. You're pushing along in behind that building. It's fine. And you're coming into the centre as well because you are HQ. Excellent. We'll discharge our HQ units, our Strela, and then we'll utilise our BMPs. So in fact, let's give the... I'll do it off camera. Give the orders to dismount when we get there. Okay, let's push forward another minute. See what happens. Now they're advancing with their tow units as well. Which is fair enough, trying to adopt a better position, because they're a little bit exposed now. Unfortunately, I'm not quite in position to take advantage of that. The only danger of rolling our tanks up here is because that is a seriously target-rich environment, and we end up attacking the wrong things. Like they're just prepping for an assault. Okay, and done. Fairly quiet, but let's see if we can end with a bit of a bang. I didn't get you to open up. Let's move on a hunt command. Slightly worried about that tool. Likewise, we can even do some hull down stuff actually. Let's... Ridge is kind of against us for that. The idea is I want us to turn up, get some shots off, and then leg it. I don't really care what we hit as long as we're hitting something and then running away. I am going to bring these BMPs round in this direction. I'd quite like to try and sneak them through. So I can maybe engage some of this stuff. And also giving a supporting elements essentially to that tank push. Okay, push them down there. I'm tempted to pop him up just as a false flag target. I perhaps won't. The only issue here is we are kind of gambling on our spotting ability being better than that of the Yanks, which is certainly not proven the case always. But we're not going to sit here forever and a day, so we want to just kind of come forward, take some positions, get some shots off, and then run away. Alright. Well, we'll see how this goes. Could be disastrous. Right, I would like you to keep moving forward. Yeah, and we'll discharge your troops at that point. And where's everyone else? That's it. You might as well try and just get yourself down here. Alright, this could be a big moment. Let's see if it works. Surprised they're leading with their tank here. Right, hang on, someone is attacking him. Is it you guys? Are you guys shooting AKs at a tank? I mean, okay, I admire your gumption. That's not going to end well for you. Oh, just ammo exploding in our BMP. Wow, he popped smoke and ran away from 2 AKs. And so it begins. So our BMP moving in position, got spotted, annihilated before anything happens. Oh, but an answer from our T-64. Beautiful. Okay, TOW's racing up to get a better position, which is always worrying. So I'm curious as to... Oh, it's just the end of your mission. Yeah, maybe it wasn't quite forward enough. Nice, good hit. And in fact, they might be in a quite good position where they're kind of hidden from the rest of the US elements. My obviously concern is these guys racing up the hill. Who did you shoot at? Hang on. Right, okay, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, I'm okay with that. Right, I want to go one more minute, because I think we're in a relatively exciting phase of things. Okay, I'm going to get you to open up. I'm also going to get you to stay where you are, and I'd like you to stay at this hillside, please. There is a TOW charging up there. I need you to kill. I'm tempted to make it slightly bigger. Yeah, good. You've got very good line of sight onto that. You should get eyes on them. And to be honest, I'm kind of tempted to do the same here. What's the range? 1.5k, okay. Yeah, do you know, let's not push forward against the tanks and things. Let's see if we can't sit where we are and pick off that TOW vehicle who's charging up the hill. That sounds like a reasonable plan. Oh, hello. You've spotted that. Aiming. Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay, pleased with that. And you're hiding in the woods, which I'm okay with for just now. Meanwhile, they should be firing, so we're a little bit far back. I'm okay, we might catch some of these troops out in the open. There is... Oh! Oh no! That's a very dead BRDM. That is a very close tank. Do you know what, lads? Stop that. If you can't get yourselves forward a bit, because if he keeps coming forward, I would quite happily hit him with an RPG. Might not get us what we need, but I think it's a pretty good start. Meanwhile, I'm gonna bring you kind of round this position. Okay, you should be protected from those tanks, and I think you might get good eyes of potentially some troops pushing up this avenue. Okay, so we're going to lose a vehicle there. That's fine. That's worrying as well, actually, if he keeps coming forward. So can you reverse over this way? Play a game of hide behind the buildings. Hello. You are just a BRDM, so I'm going to move you around to there. And then where do we want you? You've just been nailed, so you're knocked out, so that's fine. Yeah, I'll just move you in there for just now. Okay. Kind of happy at that. Happy at that. I do have another BRDM, which I would like to use again to try and muller some of this infantry as it moves into town. So we'll push up slightly with you. We have to play the hide game because obviously tanks will do terrible things to these. And maybe we'll just hide you there. You might be able to. Problem is, ATGMs short range aren't going to work because they'll get spotted and killed before they get a chance to hit. Okay. Right. Oh, I'm running along again. I'm quite excited to see how this minute pans out. So things we want to see is hopefully a missile on this toe. And tank shots on this one. Right, there's a dead BRDM as expected. Here comes M113s. Ooh. Right, he's pulled back, that's okay. Not damaged, so he managed to shrug that off. Looks like we lost our second BRDM as well. These guys are not seeing anything that hillside, which is not satisfying. We've lost our FO. Fair enough, that was quite an onslaught came in their direction. Okay, that was less than successful. So, as expected, yeah, got absolutely nailed. There's some, and yeah, these guys just get chewed up as well. What happens with you? Why can you not see that? Come on, man. Yeah, okay. You just get annihilated by the 2.7mm. See, that is what you were supposed to do to them as they rolled over top of the hill. And you didn't, and now we have problems. Okay, some of this mortar fire is being useful, but it's a little bit too far back. And then my friend here managed to tank a shot, which is always nice to see. From, I think it was tanked down here. Yeah. Cool. Thankfully, essentially no damage. We're all good. He can roll back in. Oh, and that was a tow missile away at him as well. You guys really can't see? Maybe it's just too short, too low. No, you've got eyes of something there. Interesting. Okay. One phase. Right, we're going to have to go draw this to close there. Things are going okay. We've knocked out one tank. We've lost a BMP and 2 BRDMs. Disappointed by this guy. Kind of had a job for them and he's not really delivered. We're now having a swathes of infantry swarm the town. We want to try and deal with these guys somehow. Yeah, you boys should probably pull back if you can. Not sure how far you can get, but let's try and save you a little bit. Like what I mean, I'd obviously brought you forward with ideas of potentially having to go at a tank. And maybe that's still okay. Let's just maybe into level 1 here. See what gets spotted. I know I'm supposed to be finishing, but let's move you forward to there. You should have reasonable eyes, hopefully, on that chap. Conscious, of course, that these guys can take you out as well. Okay, right, stop faffing around, calling all the close. Okay, interesting position. We're no means secure. It's a lot of American infantry coming our way. We'll have to try and deal with them. I need to take care of these tolls. If I can take care of these tolls, then we can kind of dominate this position a little bit more. And again, I'm going to be trying and poke you guys out to help support that. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, do join next time. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, leave thoughts, comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio.